James Monroe, the fifth President of the United States, served from 1817 to 1825. His rise to prominence was gradual, built upon a foundation of Revolutionary War service, legal training, and a series of increasingly important political roles. He fought in the Revolutionary War, then studied law under Thomas Jefferson. He subsequently served as a U.S. Senator, Governor of Virginia, Minister to France, and Secretary of State and Secretary of War under President James Madison. This extensive experience positioned him as a highly qualified and respected figure when he sought the presidency. Monroe's presidency is often associated with the era of good feelings, a period of relative political unity and national pride following the War of 1812. This does not mean there were no challenges, rather, it reflects the decline of the Federalist Party and the dominance of the Democratic-Republican Party. Among his major accomplishments were several key events. First, the acquisition of Florida from Spain through the Adams-Onis Treaty in 1819, significantly expanding U.S. territory and resolving border disputes. This treaty also clarified the boundary between the United States and Spanish territories in the West. Second, the Missouri Compromise of 1820, a legislative solution that temporarily resolved the contentious issue of slavery's expansion by admitting Missouri as a slave state and Maine as a free state, while also establishing a geographical boundary for the future expansion of slavery. Third, and perhaps most significantly, the articulation of the Monroe Doctrine in 1823. This cornerstone of American foreign policy declared that the Americas were no longer open to European colonization and that the United States would view any attempt by European powers to interfere in the affairs of nations in the Western Hemisphere as a threat to its own peace and safety. It aimed to protect newly independent Latin American republics from European reconquest and established the U.S. as the dominant power in the region. Significant world events during Monroe's presidency included the continued aftermath of the Napoleonic Wars in Europe and the rise of independence movements in Latin America. Several Latin American countries, inspired by the American Revolution, successfully fought for and achieved independence from Spain and Portugal. These revolutions shaped the geopolitical landscape of the Western Hemisphere and influenced the development of the Monroe Doctrine. Monroe concluded his second term and left office in 1825, peacefully transferring power to his successor, John Quincy Adams. His presidency is generally viewed favorably due to the period of relative peace and prosperity, territorial expansion, and the establishment of a defining foreign policy doctrine. In terms of effectiveness, Monroe's presidency can be ranked as above average. His leadership during the era of good feelings helped to solidify national unity after a period of conflict. His administration successfully navigated complex domestic issues such as the slavery question, albeit temporarily. The Monroe Doctrine remains a significant component of U.S. foreign policy to this day, illustrating the lasting impact of his presidency. While the Missouri Compromise ultimately failed to resolve the issue of slavery permanently, it did provide a period of respite and allowed the nation to continue its westward expansion. His ability to choose capable advisors, such as John Quincy Adams as Secretary of State, also contributed to his overall effectiveness.